Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our RimWorld Rome Let's Play. First off, I apologize for the lack of videos over the last, week and a half at this point. If you don't follow the Discord, or if you haven't seen any of the posts I've made lately on the channel, you may have missed. I got a new job, and so I've been kept very busy with that. Between the actual shifts and the commute, I'm pulling like 12-hour days, so I've had very little time to sit down and record. But I'm hoping as things settle down a bit, kind of, get settled in to this new position, I will have a little bit more time, though I can't make any guarantees on that, so we'll just kind of see how things work out. But anyway, we are picking up in, I believe, the position where we can go ahead and send our little scouting party out to the destination where we wanted to set up our town. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to ignore this assassination quest, but I won't close it just yet. So anyways, yeah, we're going to take a party of 3, and we're going to send them down to right about here. I'm going to check this tile first, but if I'm not in love with the layout of that tile, even after re-rolling it a couple of times, we may set up on a river tile here, or maybe like the next one over. But we'll have to decide, what we like best. Anyways, somebody's going to go down there. And to start off the episode, I suppose we should maybe go ahead and choose those people. So I've already picked who I want to send. For starters, and unfortunately for his family, I think Constantine is going to take the lead on this one. He is, one of 3 officers that we have at this point, and kind of, the lead military engineer, if you will. So if somebody was going to take a lead on this project, it kind of makes a lot of sense that it would be him. He is, of course, one of our better fighters, our best builder by far, and coupled with the fact that he's industrious means he gets building done even faster than somebody who would be, otherwise comparable. Also one of our best crafters, though he often doesn't have time to craft. But if we're sending him to set up a new outpost that will eventually become a city, having somebody that can, take care of any building and or crafting that we need is quite useful. And then he's also a decent doctor as well, so that will be handy. Going with him are going to be 2 other legionnaires. Gogwa, for starters. He will not be missed like Constantine because of his annoying voice. He's a solid fighter, not nearly as good as Constantine, but good enough. Another builder as well, he's pretty good there. And then he's also proficient with plants and animals, so obviously food is going to be a big issue for the people that are there. We have enough... We've got a little bit of pemmican down here that I've managed to save up. And then all of this cured meat here that'll last for about a quadrum or 2. So we can send them with some of that, and that'll keep them going for a while. But obviously we need them to be self-sustainable sooner rather than later. So he'll be taking care of that with his planting skill. And with his animal skill, he can tame anything there that we might find to use as livestock. And also keep the horses that they ride there topped up on their training. So that he'll be useful in a couple of regards. And then finally, we're going to be sending Gallia, who is good at just about everything. Again, not the best fighter, but good enough. Pretty good builder, so she can help there. Everybody we're sending will be able to construct. She can also take the lead on mining efforts, and will probably be the camp cook until somebody replaces her in that regard. She can also help with the planting and harvesting, and with the animals, and with the crafting. So she's got a lot of versatility to offer. Unfortunately, she is slothful, so she'll be a little bit slower at many of these things. But the fact that she's so well-rounded means that she can kind of fill in any holes that we have. Now, I thought about sending Aetius to take the lead on this one, but again, I think Constantine's the better fit because he is the sort of Legion engineer. And Aetius's skills are a little bit better suited to, combat, but also being at base and recruiting because of his almost maxed out social skill. So, while, yeah, he can do similar things, Constantine is a little bit more well-rounded in the things that we would need there. And his best skill, social, would be wasted because there's nobody to recruit out at that camp. At least not yet. So, yeah, I thought about sending him, but we're going to let Constantine take the lead. And if we need to, we can send more people. I've got a few in mind, like some of our newer recruits here. So Alexandria has joined us. I don't recall if she was with us at the end of last episode. Stin has also joined us. I think he might have been the last one to join us on camera. And he is, again, somebody that's pretty good in most regards except for fighting. But we've been using him as a cook at the moment. Libas has also joined us. He'll probably be the first person I send out to support these guys when we need someone out there. Again, a very good fighter and someone that can build, plant, cook, tend to animals. So he's got a lot of the skills that we're kind of looking for in that group as well. Gallo's also joined us. He's actually crafted some armor for us right now, and we'll probably let him do that for the foreseeable future. And that might be it. So don't forget to throw me some names in the comments. Keep those coming, and I'll try to get these guys renamed before next episode. But let's set that caravan up now. We'll ship them out and just kind of get a feel. We can always bring them back if things aren't looking ideal. But in theory, we're sending them out and they won't be coming back necessarily. We'll be sending more people to join them progressively more and more. So we'll start with you. And then, let's see, Galba, no, Galia, yes, and then Gogwa. A lot of G names. So we'll send those 3. And then obviously we're going to need some mounts for them to get to their destination a little bit more easily. So I'm going to let Constantine take one of the white horses. Don't want to do that. I figured 3 officers, 3 white horses, it makes sense, but let's see. Which mare can I afford to lose? Life expectancy 32. Where's your age? Age 3. Okay. Versus age 9. Let's send the older mare. Okay, and then we've got some quarter horses. These don't really matter as much. I mean, they do matter, it's just we have a lot more of them. Those aren't fully grown, so I guess we'll send probably males, because females will replenish the population faster. So quarter horse 2 and 3. And it doesn't matter who rides who, just get them mounted up. And that's about it. By the way, we had a bunch of chickens join, chickens and roosters. I'm pretty pleased with that. We'll definitely take all of our livestock with us when we journey to the next place, but for now, let's just leave them here where they're safe. Okay, so not Bilarar, Gogwa. You are now allowed to eat caravan food. Galia, you are also allowed to eat caravan food. And then finally, Constantine. So when we say you can eat pemmican, that should update. That's going to give them 5 days worth of food. Then we have almost 1,200 smoked meat. If I give them 500 of that, it's going to rot in 15. Well, there's no point in sending them with that much then. How about 400? That seems like a pretty good amount there. So they have almost a full quadrum's worth of pemmican and smoked meat. That is, of course, not to count anything that they can grow themselves in that amount of time, or anything that they can hunt. So I think they'll be okay. If it looks like they're going to be short on food, again, we can send them back. We can send somebody to them with a bit more supplies. So all in all, I think that'll be okay. And we will give them a little bit of medicine, like 12. But that's something we'll probably want to grow when we get there as well. And everything else, I think I'm going to let them harvest at the location. We're going to let them travel light. They can get their own wood. We don't need to bring any. I'd rather move fast, get there, and not waste a bunch of supplies traveling. We'll obviously want to burn those supplies while people are actually, you know, helping progress this thing. So we're going to choose our route, and that route is going to take us to there for starters. On horseback, it's only about a third of a day. So it was telling me a little bit over a day, but it again was assuming, you know, on foot and a little bit slower pace. So in a pinch, if something really goes wrong, it's not going to be hard to kind of, you know, retreat, I guess. If we need to send somebody to rescue them and bring them back, it should not take very long at all. So there's our route. Off they go, or at least off goes our little planning thing there. So now we just need to wait for them to do that. I can probably reassign some beds now. So let's see who was sleeping where. Galia was sleeping here. I'm gonna let Alexandria take that, since she was sleeping in that room already. And then this becomes unowned. We'll probably leave it unowned for now. I'll put Ursus in here, since Vivian is already asleep. So let's see, Ursus. Go ahead and reassign you there, and then we're going to unassign Gogwa. And we'll leave that bed as well. And then, of course, we have Constantine here. We're not going to unassign that, but it will automatically once he gets a new bed. Alright, so the caravan has finally left the base. It looks like it's going to take a little bit longer than initially predicted, but that's okay. It's still not bad. It's a little over half a day. So almost double what they had said initially, but still not very long at all. So we'll let them go ahead and travel and just keep an eye on what's going on with the base here. Not a whole lot, to be honest. A lot of hunting, though. That's pretty much how we've been keeping up with food, because our crops are actually not really doing a lot for us, if I'm being honest. The meat production has been far better, so I'm pretty much just marking anything, even rats, that we can hunt, killing them and then bringing them back to get cured into some jerky. Oh, and it looks like Z's resistance has just been broken. Nice. Obviously, we have, you know, people constantly working on our prisoners as well, both Stilicho and Aetius, pretty much all the time. So we've been able to recruit them pretty efficiently. It looks like Mr. Bunny there is next. I don't know if I'll hunt the wolves just yet. There was also that bear, but I probably will hunt them at some point. I try to just let them kind of take care of themselves. There's so many predators on the map at any given time that they tend to end up fighting, and usually there'll be carcasses that we can just come grab without having to, you know, risk any of our own people in the process. It looks like they got an ibex, and we didn't grab that one. That's unfortunate. They'll probably kill each other at some point. And is that about it? I do not know. Is Talissa finally going to go eat now that she's not having a mental break? I'm just going to tell her to eat. Go eat that meal. I'm tired of your little starving thing popping up here. And whoever else was hungry, looks like they ate too. But yeah, we're doing pretty good in terms of food. It says we have low food, but as you guys saw when we set up the caravan, there was over 1,000 cured meat, and it's not the best thing to eat, but they don't mind eating it. They don't take a mood penalty or anything for eating it, so it's not a big deal. And that one is not set to caravan food, so they can eat that. I just don't think they prefer to, because I think it's because of the way it's scripted into the game. It's considered raw meat in terms of how viable it is to eat from a pawn's perspective, but it doesn't have the associated penalties of eating raw meat. So it is better than eating raw meat. It of course lasts a lot longer than raw meat as well. But you know, we can always cook it too. Let's see. Let's get Valen into a proper bed. How about this one? Or I guess it doesn't matter because we have 2 people. So Valen, we're going to put you in this bed. It'll be easier if I just destroy this, actually. So deconstruct, and then she should show up right here. And then Danica will deconstruct that bed and throw her in this one. Not literally, just figuratively. So that gets everybody up off the floor at least. But we obviously still have a major housing issue. So we'll need to remedy that. Though it seems like the remedy is going to be moving to a different place and building a bigger base. And that's the plan. That's something I'll need to look at, actually, before they arrive. So I want to make sure that this tile that we generate is like the biggest tile that we possibly can have. Or at least close to. But I'm not sure what's going to actually affect that. So we're not actually going to set up camp because we want to set up a permanent location. So this isn't going to help us necessarily. I should have the map reroll mod running. There it is. So dice button size, default map size is 325 by 325. That's pretty big. I think we're at 250 by 250, which is the default, which generally I change. In this particular case I forgot to. So that is very big. I'm tempted to go to extreme, but I do worry that the performance will really take a hit if we do that. Let's do it. Who cares? Right, so we're going to set that to 350 by 350. Hopefully when we generate a new map, it will default to that. And again, we can kind of re-roll until we get a layout that we like, but it's, as you'll see, because I'll do that on camera if it becomes a thing. The options aren't much. It's basically the same sort of bodies of water layouts, just kind of shifted in different places. But all of the map options resemble themselves pretty closely. So if we do in fact want something entirely different, then we have to go to a different tile. One of the Arctic wolves just self-tamed, and apparently the entire colony decided that Desperado was the name they wanted to give it. So fine. Yeah, we'll take a wolf, I guess. Not sure what we're going to feed it. It's probably just going to leech off of our cooked food, but it's not a huge deal. We will want to make sure, though, that the wolf is trained. Because, at the very least, it can earn its keep. Why is my turkey starving? Why are you starving, turkey? They have a pretty wide range to graze from. Assuming turkeys can graze, I forget. I assume that they can. I think they're vegetarian, so pretty much any vegetarian animal can just eat grass in this game. But I've given them that entire area. Basically just not my crops. I also queued up some mangers here. Just like the one in here, and we'll use the same bill so that some of the hay grass gets stored there, and I'll make sure that the animals can access that. I don't know that all of them can eat hay, but at least the ones that can will have another food source, and obviously it's sitting in here isn't doing anybody any good, so at least there's something there. Where did that bear get off to? Ah, there he is. I'm gonna go ahead and mark the bear for hunting then. There's not really anything else wild around, so I don't think we can rely on a free kill here. But that links... No, I don't think there's anything over there. What are you? Another dead Arctic wolf. They might fight at some point. Oh, free raccoon meat. Let's make sure we get that. There's another turkey over there too, and that looks like a male. I might try to get them to tame that, because if we can breed turkeys, that would be another good potential source of food. But that might be it. Oh, there's a wounded bear out here. Let's hunt that one as well. I wonder who fought you. Okay. Oh, raccoon. Okay, so the raccoon tore him up a bit before the raccoon died. And then there's a wolf and a cougar over here. They might fight at some point. But I'm not going to sit here and wait. Alright. So we talked a little bit about this before, but I figured while we're kind of waiting for things to happen here, it might be nice to address it again. So the plan is, of course, to build our major city somewhere in this kind of mountain. I don't know what to call this, to be honest. Oh no, someone's trying to kill one of my hens. Hang on here. I gotta get this stupid thing off my cursor. There we go. So what's killing what now? Oh no, it did kill one of the hens. Damn it. Kill the roosters if you're gonna kill something. Right. Stilico, I need you to come murder this wolf. Sorry, wolf, but you picked the fight. We're just gonna be the ones that finish it. I think I'd rather you melee it, if I'm being honest, but... Oh god, you just destroyed the... We could have at least eaten it. So far, you're off to a poor start there, my friend. There you go. That was a pretty good hit. It really slowed it down. Loka, can you also help? Because that's definitely in bow range. I'm going to slow things down a bit if that's what we're doing. Nice. Come on. Get him with the Pila. Alright, well, you downed it. So, Stilico, finish it off and we'll eat it, since it cost us a bit of food in the way of that hen. Anyways, we are here. Is this like a vale? Is that what a vale is? We're going to be building our city somewhere in roughly the middle of this, either on the river or immediately adjacent to the river. Oh, give me a break. Okay, where are you coming from? Probably going to have somebody over here fight that thing. Ursus, kill the wolf. And Katya, why don't you aid him in that endeavor? So they're going to go fight that thing. We are going to build a town somewhere in here. And then we talked about putting a sort of fort maybe right here, so that potentially the only way that the enemy could raid our town is through the fort. And I don't know if that will actually prevent them. I've never tried. So it'll be kind of a scientific endeavor. But I figure here, if the game works like I think it works, and the enemy actually has to travel in the same way that we do, then in theory they could only attack us from the north. And my hope is that that will indeed be the case. They won't be able to attack the town because they would have to pass through this tile to do it, and that, of course, they have to, raid this tile first. So what I'd like to do is, if we do in fact build that, what I'll do is build a fort kind of in the middle here, and we'll actually connect, walls to either side and make it actually look like a fort that would, be protecting an area like that. Or it could be like two smaller forts with like a fancy, really heavily defended gate in the middle. But I'd like to see if that does indeed work the way we think, and the raids will only come from the northern part of the map. If that's the case, then we can build that wall and have pretty much the entire southern half beyond it undefended. We can just, put our houses and farms and stuff out here on, of course, the map tile I was showing on the actual map, not this map tile. But if we cut it in half and they can only raid from the north, then we don't necessarily need to protect the south. And that would be really cool, but again, I don't know if that's true. I'm just assuming that it might be. But if the AI cheats, then we have to play it like we always do and just defend everything all the time. But we're going to science it and see. So before we actually set up a new colony, we actually have to come in here and adjust this slider. And it's going to warn you that the game is not necessarily intended to play that way. So RimWorld is designed to be played with one player colony at a time. Though it is possible to have more colonies, this will probably cause performance slowdowns and gameplay imbalances. We recommend that, at least at first, you play the game with one colony maximum. So we've done that a million times. Obviously, we're interested in doing 2 now. But 2 is probably the most I'll ever do. So when we start considering building this fort here, we're going to have to abandon that. Just because I think it's going to get way too performance intensive. Especially given we're already building effectively the largest map tile. Or using the largest map tile that we possibly could. Come on, Katia. Okay. Ursus, don't rescue it. Don't do that. Prioritize hunting, so basically gut it and then bring it back, and then you need to go get yourself patched up. Bleeding pretty bad, but nothing that can't be healed pretty easily. So yeah, go get yourself treated. Uh-oh, we got a grizzly bear revenge. Going after Libus. Is that in range of that? It will be. Caro. I'm only in ATS. You're not very good at... Well, actually, you're pretty damn good at everything. But you're also a pretty good melee fighter. So go protect Libus, Talissa. I'm going to ask you to man this, and you're going to fire at it from here. ATS. Need you to go back him up. Like, now. That might be dangerous shooting past, but we're going to try it. That did hit the bear. It's just the bear knocked him down. Okay, we got it. ATS, rescue him first and foremost. We'll make sure those weapons get picked up, and then Talissa. Perfect. Right, so let's get back to these guys. They're just sitting here. We're going to settle. So you only have this option if you open up more potential colonies. If we had left it set at 1, we wouldn't have this option. We could set up camp, but the camps aren't permanent, and they actually have a timer on them that will kick you out after a little while. So we're going to settle here. We can, of course, abandon the tile if we so choose, but I don't see a point in setting up a temporary one if we will eventually want to stay here permanently. So that took forever, but here we have our new map. There's a big mountain right in the middle, but it looks to have some resources that might prove useful. And there are a lot of trees around. However, not nearly so many as the map tile that we started on, obviously. So maybe this is a little bit better balanced because obviously we don't have to cut down a tree for every tile we want to use. I can't tell if this is bigger though. Something tells me it's not. So let's science this, because I don't remember if there's a way for us to check what the actual dimensions are. So I'm going to draw a box. 7 by 7 is fine, I guess. And if we zoom all the way out, okay, so it is roughly the length of my mouse cursor there. If I were to go over here and do the same, which I kind of don't need to because these are 7 by 7, but I'll do it anyways just so that we're good scientists and not assuming anything. If we zoom out, is that looking bigger? Kinda? Well, obviously there's a lot more blank space on this one when I zoom out. But as far as the actual zoom goes, I can't tell. Yeah, this does appear bigger. Is it big enough though? I guess we're gonna have to say yes. It's definitely bigger though. Okay, so I don't know if it's the full 350 by 350. I could literally measure it out with those, or there's got to be a way to check, but I don't remember. We can re-roll if we're so inclined. So I'll show you guys how this works. I don't think I've ever done this on camera. I have it set so that there are actual resources to get expended. I'm pretty sure you can turn this off though. This just is supposed to keep it balanced, I guess. I don't know. but you can only re-roll at the current rate, like what, 50 times. So if we hit re-roll, it's going to spawn different layouts of this particular map, and we can kind of choose which arrangement we like the best. I think it'd be nice to have the center kind of open and have the mountains sort of around the perimeter, if you will. That way we can start building right in the middle. We don't need to worry about, you know, digging anything out. And we can kind of harvest what we need out of the mountains as we go along. So these are our options. This one looks kind of like what I am going for, but there is a big mountain there. So we can favorite that and come back to it later. What else? That one's not bad. Hang on, am I looking at the right thing here? So yeah, that's water, that's a mountain. We could work with that too, maybe. Let's generate the next page and see if we get anything else. This doesn't look too bad here. There is some terrain that we'll have to deal with though, but if we clean that little bit up right there and this little bit here, that does give us a pretty large space to work with initially. So let's generate that one. It's going to take a while, but we'll look at it in game and decide if that's a little bit more preferable. Okay, unfortunately that caused them to drop some stuff, so they'll have to pick up their gladii. But yeah, I think I can work with that. That's a pretty nice, clean, open area. I feel like we lost some mountains, though. There's actually less to mine on this map. But that might prove to be an interesting challenge. Oh, some compacted machinery. That's actually... that's been pretty rare so far. Not that components have been necessarily hard to come by, but... compacted machinery in particular has been a bit hard to find. Huh. Hopefully I didn't, like, screw all these guys up too. No, this looks more or less unchanged. So... okay, yeah, good. Nothing got messed up there. Do we want to roll with this? I think we will. There's some nice structures in here that we could use to get started with. For example, this granite structure here, we could just put some doors on it. And then build some wooden beds, and we've got a little place to work out of. Same goes for this iron building here. Gives us a little bit more room even. But we can get started in one or both of these. Mine this out to give ourselves a nice big area to work with. I wish there was a little bit more mountain though. But I guess we kind of... I sort of expected this going in because of course we are out away from the mountains here. This is open plain. I think it's actually... is that considered savanna? I don't know if it's going to let me check. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Terrain. Yeah, it's savanna. So I guess that's more or less expected. And then if we wanted to... when we built our little fort here, that would be in a temperate forest, so it would have greater tree density. If we needed to supply wood to the base, we could probably do that relatively easily. Remember, it was only a little over a half day to go from our current location to here, so this would be probably a matter of an hour or two, on horseback anyway. So, I do really like that idea, but obviously let's take care of this first. And then we'll kind of close up shop here, migrate all of our facilities to here, and then we can send somebody to start a fort there, essentially. So, for starters, let's throw a roof. Is it going to let me claim all of this? I'm just going to leave it like that. We'll do build roof area over it. And we are going to have to fill in some of these walls, but that's not a huge deal. And I'll have them build a roof over that too, because that might be an easier structure to get started with. Then we will need to cut down some trees. So let's cut down some of the trees in the immediate area. That was probably not a great way to go about that. We'll do chop woods since that's a little bit more specific. But yeah, we'll get some of these so that we have enough wood for doors. Some of these are a little bit too small still. But that will be enough for now, probably. Let's just do this. Okay, good enough. So we'll get that going. Zone, let's do a stockpile zone here for right now. I'm not going to do anything special, just let them fill it. And we'll need growing zones. Let's get those started right away. For the time being, let's do 7 by 7. We'll put a couple down right here. I think we'll do 3. We will do, for right now, hold on, let's do heal root on one of them. And then we'll do rice on the other 2. And that should get our food source going a little bit more quickly here. And then eventually we can shift over to corn just like we did at the other base. But that should get us up and running at least. What else do we need? I don't think it's necessary to start mining yet, but we will obviously mine this out. And we will need some way. What is that? A war veil? Why do we have a war veil? Anyway, we'll need some material to fill in this with. We'll probably just use wooden walls and eventually replace them, because we're not going to leave these iron walls up either, or these granite ones for that matter. So that should be adequate. I am paused, but I don't know if the game is actually going to... There we go. Are you guys going to get your swords? Perfect. So yeah, hustle on over there. Feel free to bring your food along with you. And then we'll also want to, for our builders, get some tilled soil going, because that will help with our crop production quite a bit. But doesn't need to happen necessarily before. If they want to go ahead and plant now, that's totally fine too, as long as it both happens eventually. And then, yep, there goes the roof. Please, please, please. Uh-oh. God, these grizzly bears. Mount that horse before you get mauled. Oh, you were too slow. What to do, because you're going to get torn up. Come on, get on the horse. If you get on the horse, you can outrun it. Okay, there you go. Time to run. Get your Pila out. Do not get that horse hurt. There we go. So yeah, outrun the bear. Keep the Pila out. And throw when you get far enough away. Move, move, move. Ah, God. Yeah, we should be able to disengage whenever we want, because he is significantly faster. The issue, of course, is that the bear closes the gap pretty quickly. Alright, as soon as he comes into range... Throw. Oh, nice. Desiree, you kill Steel. Well, Cassius, go get yourself treated. At least somebody dropped it. And we have people missing stuff. Right, Libas got a little bit hurt there. I think his gear is probably still laying out here where he fought. Yeah. So I want to make sure that gets collected eventually. How are you guys doing? You're eating some pemmican. That's a-okay. Looks like we're getting some rice down first. That's great. Cutting down trees is also important. We do need doors after all. What is this? Okay, so I guess there was an update to old style furniture, because it looks like it got split up into tabs, multiple tabs. This apparently doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Weird. So they just separated some of the stuff out. I don't know why they did that. They just took the decorations, I guess, and put them in another tab, which is kind of unnecessary. But anyways, doors. Those are the ones I've been using. Let's make sure they're not, like, unnecessarily expensive. Maybe I will do a regular wooden door for now, just because we'll get more of these with the materials that we have. So we'll start with that. and we'll probably just have to do generic sleeping spots for the time being. But what we'll want to do is get them some proper beds as soon as possible, because they're not going to be too pleased about that, or with the fact that they have to share a barracks effectively. But that is something that cannot be dealt with immediately. However, it's something that will be dealt with eventually. And I'm going to want to make sure I center this. So that's going to be a little bit tricky. But I want to basically start our city in the middle so that we have the maximum amount to expand in every direction. And by the time we come back for the next episode, I will try to... Yeah, the water or the rain will take care of that. I'll try to have at least like a basic layout for the center fort. Again, I kind of showed you guys vaguely what I wanted to do with this, but just in case you missed it. What we're going to do is have like a center sort of fort. And then from there, we're going to build sort of... Come on, game. Keep interrupting my planning drawings here. We're going to have sort of like entrance pathways that branch out from that in every direction. What the hell? Okay. A little bit frustrating. Where was I drawing? Right. Let's not go up that far this time. So something like this. And then the outer walls will be like this. So we'll have our defended gates here. If the enemy wants to attack us, they've got to go through the gate. And then down this narrow passageway that will have 1, 2, 3 gates. And then these will open up into the... I'll do it this way. Into the different districts of the city. So this will be a district, 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 and then the center military fort will be here with easy access to every major entrance. So I think that makes the most sense. These walls will be just like the walls back at this base here, so they will have space for people to set up and attack from with the embrasures and the wooden crossbows, maybe the ballista. By the way, I moved these back so that we could lay people in front of them. It just seemed more efficient because they're not going to friendly fire anybody that's adjacent. So we can put like 3 legionnaires here throwing pila or shooting arrows and have this firing over the top. So that's probably what we'll do on the other one. But the setup for the walls will be identical to this. It'll have the same gates, the same like murder holes here, all that. It'll just run the entire perimeter of this city. And if we have the space, which I'm hoping that we do, those walls will also run along here and the interior fort. So every wall will be fully defensible, even this little interior spot here, which it should be because it, of course, is the main fort. And on like the corners of this, I think we'll have like heavy towers with the ballista in them. And that way, if anybody does get in here, we can, attack them pretty effectively. But also, because these don't fire directly, they fire up in the air. That's why we can't put roofs over them. We can use those to basically bombard people before they get to the town. And then on the outer perimeter, we can just use the wooden crossbows that do direct fire through the embrasures. So that's the plan. Let me see where we're at on time. And we are out of time. So I will call it there and run a little bit of this off camera, try to get things set up a bit more than they are now. And check in with you guys as to how this is progressing. If it looks like we need to send some backup, we can do that. If it looks like we might need to abandon this and attempt it again later, we can certainly do that too. But that's hopefully not going to be the case. And yeah, I'm looking forward to, not quite hitting the reset button. We're still going to have a lot of stuff going on here. But we will be shifting more and more of our focus over to this place, especially as it grows. And then once we're content with this, at least to some degree, we're confident that we can, defend this and make it our main base. Then we can go ahead and abandon this fort. It'd be cool if we could let somebody move into it, somebody friendly, but I don't think there is a way to do that. So we'll abandon that and then establish a new fort here which again I'm hoping will prevent any raids from making it past there to here. So they'll just all attack this, and we'll make it like a ridiculously fortified base. So yeah, that's where we'll leave it. So again, let me know if you guys have any names that you'd like to see. Again, do keep them thematically appropriate, obviously. And let me know what you think of the plan so far. Do you like the new map tile that we're working with? It's not too late to move on to another one, but I think this is adequate, so we'll probably roll with it unless there's major objections. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.